All right, everybody. I've got a special guest on today, and a couple people have sent me a video from the 31st of July that I've already seen, and it was his. And we were just talking the other day, and I'm like, hey, maybe you ought to come on one of these days and show some of your TA and whatnot, some of the charts. I'm like, there's not very many of us calling for a pretty large pullback right now, but he is, and his chart works is pretty good. So I thought, hey, let's bring him on. So he said, yeah, anytime you're ready, let's do this. So it was funny. Earlier, someone sent me another link to his video, and I'm like, yeah, I've already seen it. And I'm going, I think that's a sign. I need to reach out to him like right now. So I go out to Discord and message him. And he's like, man, I swear to God, I was just thinking of you like 3 seconds ago. I was just about to reach out to you. I'm like, man, today's the day. Let's do it. So, anyways, he goes by Red Barron, and as you can see on the screen, he's got this site there, join for free, theunfairadvantage.chat. He's also got fibbycharts.com above that, if you can see that, which it should be right in your face in the middle of the screen. And hang on, what's that? Are you about to pull something up?
Well, yeah. Sorry if you need me to. I'm going to be sweeping charts into that. So if you need to.
No, I just see a gray screen.
Oh, okay. All right. Can everybody see that?
Well, it's just a gray screen. That's all I see.
Whoops. All right. I might need to get this straightened out then.
All right, everybody, hold up a second.
Pardon our dust.
Yeah, I'm still seeing that. That it's just like a gray, kind of dark gray screen within the Fibby chart background.
Mm-hmm.
Patience, my friends, patience.
We need to. Technology is meant to make your life easier. How's that working out for you?
Is it a chart? What is it that you're trying to?
I've got the top page of my website right now, but I'm going to be sweeping charts in here as I show you and talk about what we're predicting for the next coming couple of days and weeks and months ahead. So I was under the impression that you were basically just kind of sharing. So you can see my backdrop. That's my desktop.
Yeah, the only thing that we see right now was mainly that background picture you had with the Discord,
right.
Like that one. But
and I've got a trade view chart up here of theta. Do you see that?
Probably. No. So when you put that up, it just instead of anything, it's just gray. It's just like this big black, whatever, blackish grayish. It's a single color, and I'm not sharing it with YouTube just yet, but on my own screen, it's doing.
I'll tell you what. I'll kind of leave it like that so you can kind of get a so you can see what's going on there. Yeah, it should see like a gray block off to the right.
Yeah, it's just a gray block, but there's nothing on it.
All right, no hurry.
Should we be seeing something?
Yeah, you should be seeing my website.
Yeah, no, it's not doing that. It's just a gray block, is it, basically?
Let me see here. Let's try. How about now?
Yes.
Now, what are you seeing now?
It looks live. Yeah, it looks like you're moving live.
Okay. Now, are you seeing that? Are you seeing
good?
This background? Are you seeing the website with the background over top of it?
Yeah, you dragged it over and then moved it back. I saw that.
Are you seeing the theta chart now?
V-chain.
Okay, you're seeing V-chain. There should be theta.
Yeah, it's on V-chain.
I
see your mouse.
Okay. All right, I'm center. Okay, hang on just a second here.
We're almost there, peeps. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good. Just chill.
It's gonna be amazing. Trust me. We're professionals here.
It's gonna be good stuff.
All good things are worth the wait. So hang on a second here. Let's screen share here. All right. So let's do. I shared the wrong screen. All right. So now what you should see.
Yep. Got it moving. Yep.
You see my backdrop. You see my charts.
Yep.
All right. You see my theta.
Yes.
All right. And you see my V chain.
Yep.
All right, I think we have a professional level rocking and rolling here. So, all right, so proceed cautiously. Go ahead.
Okay, so here we are, peeps. I think we're ready to go. So I'm gonna say the floor is all yours. I'll just give you a quick introduction. He goes by Red Barron or just Barron or RB. Says anything you want
RB
to
is
know.
my new name. Everybody's kind of stuck on me, so it works. So I'll do that.
Yeah, it's like they call me Snippy, so it's like he's just RB. But
Still,
he's
like
got
the old saying goes, call me anything, just don't call me late for dinner.
yeah, favorite time of the day. But he's done some great work. I've seen some of his videos, many of his videos actually, and someone reached out to me about him, like I said, and I'm just like, I'm getting that little tingly feeling inside that says, you need to just reach out to him and see if he's down to come on and everything and share his content. And of course, we'll give him a plug in the beginning and the end. The right thing to do. Again, his site is fibbycharts.com, as you can see there. And what was that other one again? The unfair advantage or whatever. What was that one? Uh-oh. Reconnecting. Stand by, peeps. It was just about to get good. It was just about to get good. Reconnecting. There is a poor connection. I know it ain't me because old Snip's on fiber optic here. Oh, it dropped us. So hang on. I was trying to get him to come on Zoom, but he didn't have Zoom, and it was just little too quick notice, I guess. So we just said we'll just use Skype. I've used Skype before, no problem. So what's up, everybody? Trying to get y'all some cool content tonight on crypto. There's not a lot of people that are calling for XRP in pretty low prices, and he's got charts showing like in the 20 cent range, 20 plus, over 20 cents, between 20 and 30 is what I'll say because I saw it in this video, which is interesting. So give me a second. I'm going to try to call him again on Skype. Let's see if.
All right.
All right, we got dropped there. I guess you're back. You good?
Are you still live or?
Yeah, we're still live. I just
Okay.
put the screen on myself for now.
All right. So let me screen share one more time. I have a feeling whatever it is I'm doing, I have to screen share after I've done it. So hopefully that won't present a problem for us here. All right. So we got a backdrop.
Yep, got the backdrop.
Got chart.
Got the chart.
All right. So let's go ahead and start all over again. So hold on just a second. All right. All right. So my name is Red Barron. I'm from fibbycharts.com, and if you'd like to join my YouTube channel, you can do that at the unfairadvantage.tube, or you can join our Discord, which is for free. If you guys like what it is I do, I use automated intelligence AI predictive programming to gather up data, basically, and it vacuums up data going all the way back to the origination of any of these things, and it pulls statistical probabilities. So we're not just doing just bare bones TA, we're applying high levels of science to what we do. And we have currently a 98.6% accuracy rate. And what we like to say is that's good enough odds to get you chucked out of Las Vegas. They will invite you promptly to leave. If you come in and play blackjack with those kind of odds, they will escort you to the edge of town. So we like to have that, and that's why we call it the unfair advantage. So my system uses some very unique things. I'm an engineer by trade, so let's go ahead and break that down for you here. I'll kind of explain the process so you know what you're looking at here real quickly. My system, what we call is the unfair advantage chart. You'll notice a lot of things you've probably never seen before in TA. If you guys are familiar with TradingView, you've probably never seen anything that looks quite like this before. These lines that go up and down are something. I'm an engineer by trade, so I'm naturally just the type of person who likes to take his toaster apart before he makes toast because he likes to know how things work. So that's the way it is. Now, I'm a longtime XRP fanatic, and we will be talking about XRP here tonight. This system was derived because I do not like to lose. And so what I did was, I noticed if you guys have been in XRP for a while, you know that last year we had just some hellacious wicks. They would just go and they would wick. You remember that, Joe?
Yep.
It would just go, drop, go, drop. I'm like, there's got to be some rhyme or reason to this. So I sat down and I basically started to study this. I started to pull out the charts. And I started to find some variations. And I started to know something. I'm 53 years old, and some of you guys that are in my range remember back in the old school days of Atari. I used to program video games a long, long time ago. This is the best way that I explain this to newbies that don't understand. Computers do things by I know you're a computer guy, Joe, so you can back me up on this. Computers do things, they have almost a level of OCD where when they start something, they close something. If you deal in HTML, you know that if you want to put a piece of text somewhere, you have to open the center and you have to close the center. You have to start something and end something. So computers have a certain level of OCD where you cannot leave an open-ended thing, and I'll demonstrate that here as we get through some of the charts. But what I noticed first and foremost in dissecting XRP is I noticed that there is a pattern, in fact, and it locks into what we call clock cycles. A computer works according to clock cycles. In other words, the internal timer of a clock designates how the software works. That's how your desktop clock works. That's how software works. That is how video games work. Case in point, some of you guys probably have ever played the game Pac-Man. You see these ghosts that are running around the screen. You ever notice that they just go one way and just all of a sudden, for no reason, they turn and go the other direction, just abruptly turn and go the other direction? And the reason why is because at some point in time, they operate on an if-then type of algorithm. And so if Pac-Man is a certain place, then do something like that. But it makes those decisions according to what's called a clock cycle. So I deciphered the clock cycles. Basically, I've decoded the mind of the machine, so to speak, and I'll demonstrate this here in a couple of seconds. But basically, these lines here they're going up and down are clock cycles. Every time we hit on, in, or around one of these things, it makes a decision to do just a few things. It'll make a decision to send it up, to send it down, to just basically go across it, or do what we call a chevron or a V formation. So you only got so many moves, kind of like playing chess. You only got so many moves in the game of crypto that you can make. It's not as random as you think. Once you're able to figure this out, you're able to get the unfair advantage, and that's what this is all about. Statistically figuring out the probabilities of a move and executing flawlessly, or as close to flawlessly as you possibly can. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at a couple things. I'll give you a couple examples, and then we'll work some charts here. So hold on just a second. Had a few things wrong. I was telling Joe, I've got 6 brand new 36-inch monitors, so I'm suffering from TMI. I got too much information. So I got too damn many places to look, you know. Hold on just a second here. Let me pull up. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. I'll get this out of here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. I'll just kind of ramble. I'm a multi-track thinker, so pardon me if you can't keep up. So here's a good example of what I'm talking about. I went ahead and made a few notes here just to show you guys the power of this system. This is not standardized to our thing. So if you want to subscribe to these charts, by the way, you can do that at fibbycharts.com. But I showed a couple notes here to kind of illustrate my point. So here is Bitcoin that we're doing. So now most guys, what they do is they bring in TA and they go, okay, well, we have what looks like we'll just call that a cup and handle. So ergo, we have cup and handle, there's the depth, there's the call. That's all they've got. That's the only weapon they've got in the holster. If you've got this, you not only know probabilities of when it's going to happen, but where it's going to happen. So we also have another thing called ISIS, which is a bot that I programmed to figure out the statistical highs and lows. So let's talk about the pulse markers for just a second. So the pulse markers, as we go along here, let's zoom right on in here. So you'll notice this goes along and it follows channels, but you notice how it hits that exact pulse marker and boom, down it goes. Goes across to the next pulse marker, jumps up. The full ones are full pulse markers. The dotted ones are half. They're basically like a half clock cycle. But you'll notice every time we hit one of these things, it makes a move radically up and then across, and then it jiggles a little bit and then it shoots up. Hits the half one, comes down. And it's literally like, the best way to describe it is it's literally like just going from one point to the next. So there we have the time. So now we need to know the height. The height is these golden lines that go side to side. And those are not Fibonacci lines. Those are ISIS. Those are the AI lines, the statistical probabilities that we built into the system and the bots that I've designed to sniff this out. And so what you're seeing is you're seeing a green line, like right here. That is a Fibonacci line. The gold line below it is ISIS. That's the AI line. Sometimes they are in tandem, and we like the tandem lines because when you get AI matching with Fibonacci, they're almost magnetic. And we oftentimes find that the the moves tend to almost suck to those lines. So again, it's kind of an unfair thing that you're able to kind of know that. But let's go back and take a look a little deeper in this. So as you look at this line, boom, down we go up to the next one, boom, we go across a few of these things. So basically what we're doing is we're just watching TA, we're watching all of the RSI, the MACD, the DMI, the Bollinger Bands, and some of the standard technical analysis, and we're plugging that into this. And so we have a grid by which we can apply standard technical analysis, and it gives us an amazing degree of accuracy. And some of the guys that are in my group, I'll tell you a little quick story here before I kind of get too far in this. We have a couple of guys that have joined our group. We have one guy, he's kind of legendary in my group, called Crypto Rich. He's done nothing but trade Doge. He knew nothing about cryptocurrency at all. He was a real estate guy like me, and he came into our group roughly about 90 days ago. And he had sold an apartment complex. On my call, I said, "Guy, you need to get the hell out of real estate right now," and because I feel something's bad's going to happen here. And a couple years ago is when this happened. And he sold out just before Corona hit. And he said, "Man, you saved my life." And so he came back and goes, "What are you doing now?" I go, "Well, I do cryptocurrency too." And he goes, "Oh, I've heard about that. Bitcoin, is that what you're talking about?" I said, "Sure, that's what I'm talking about." So he says, "Come over." I let him into the group. And he goes, "What's this Doge thing?" I'm like, it's kind of a meme coin. I'm not really all about it right now. And I watch it. So I thought, I'll give you a chart if you want. So I plugged in, we have a Doge chart, and he started horsing around with it a little bit. And he took my chart, and he made some good money. He took his $150,000 net that he took. So the fast forward of the legend of Crypto Rich is he took his $150,000 and parlayed it through 19 flawless trades, not losing one single penny. He is now at $10.5 million, doing nothing but trading Doge. He's paid off his house. He's bought his dream car, a beautiful, screaming bright red Porsche GT4. He just chartered a private plane to go to Tahiti with his wife and his two lovely little kids. And he's living the life, man. And we've got quite a few people that are using our grid to just powerful advantage. So we like to see that. We have some people that are potato farmers in Johannesburg, South Africa. And I have a special place in my heart for those guys that are really on the edge of poverty. And those folks are using this grid too. And so we have all levels of people, all the way from subsistence farmers all the way up to multi-billionaires that are part of our group. And everybody is winning with this. And it's amazing to watch. So anyway, getting back into this, so as you look and see, we are hitting these lines exactly. We're getting these major moves and these major reverses, and these turns happen right on the AI line. Boom, up it goes, down it goes, up it goes. And so it's hitting these levels. So pretty much what you're doing is you're just stitching between one to the other. So that kind of explains, there's a lot more science behind this, but I don't want to drone on too much on that. So we'll go ahead and cover a few things. What do you want to take a look at first? I suppose Big Daddy Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, Bitcoin's fine, and then maybe we'll go into XRP.
Sure, certainly. Definitely no discussion would be complete without XRP. So, all right. All right, so I got what we're going to do is we're going to use, and this is, by the way, when you guys subscribe to my charts, I'm using Platinum Pro. If you guys want to do this, you're just kind of getting a quick pitch. If you guys want to be able to access what I'm doing, just simply go to fibbycharts.com. The top page looks like this right here. And you just go to subscribe now, and you can pick out the different levels and stuff like that. So let me show you what you get here. We'll just go ahead and use Platinum Charts, which is one of the ones most people like to use here. Give me just a second. Internet running slow for you down in Florida? It's just been dragging ass up here.
No, it's been okay for us.
Oh man, it's been spotty. All right, so take a look at the 6-hour Bitcoin chart. So to back way up here, to kind of give you the broader narrative, I think that's where we should probably step in on this. I'm going to kind of talk about what I've expected to have happen. I've been calling for a crash, much like you have, for a long time, going back as far as probably almost 6, 7, 8 months ago. The narrative to me, there's a lot to unpack here, but the narrative to me is we must, speaking in terms of, forget Bitcoin for a second, let's talk XRP. It must go down to 22 to 25 cents. Theoretically, to me, it just feels right. Plug in all the woo-woo and all the TA you want, but you have to understand that that's a financial coin. I've lived all over the world. I've traveled all over the world, and I've seen this stuff executed and used on a daily basis. We are radically behind, folks. When it comes to being in the crypto space, I've spent a great deal amount of time in Africa. And I can tell you they are legions ahead of us, have been for probably 10 years. And so it's no surprise to see Cardano in Africa first, because that's where the action's at. Now, as far as XRP goes, the whole world is ready to execute on using Ripple. This SEC thing that's going on right now is just a bunch of theatrics and nonsense. But as I see it here, we are probably in the next less than 30 days, easy call. We're about to see something spectacular. Now, I have a lot of thoughts on what I think about XRP and what is going to make this light. What you must understand is I've had a lot of people ask me, well, you say it's going to go up, but you say it's going to go down. Yes, we don't know when it's going to go down, but in theory, listen to me and see if you find logic in this. If you've got all of these banks that are signing on, you do have some late adopters, do you not?
Yep.
Yes, you do. Okay, so I used this analogy on my VIP live stream last night, and I'll use it again here. So it makes perfect sense, and so I'll apply. I like to kind of speak on this level. If let's say you're in first grade, and you go to class, and Mrs. Anderson is handing out chocolate popsicles to the first grade class to period 1. Word is going to get around to the rest of the school. Hey, Mrs. Anderson's giving out chocolate popsicles in her class. So now class number 2 comes in. What do they expect? They expect to get their chocolate popsicles, do they not? So if class 3 comes in and there's no chocolate popsicles, they're going to be pissed. Everybody wants chocolate popsicles. So now what I'm saying by saying this is the late adopters, the people who are coming late to the class, meaning these smaller banks, these people that are on the SWIFT system, these people that are slow to adopt, they're going to want their fair share of XRP, of the tokens, before they kick this party off. Would you agree?
Yep.
Okay, so using that, putting on our common sense hat, that tells us that there must be a drop, whereas they're ready to purchase that. Now, would you feel ripped off if you were one of these smaller banks paying current prices right now when you know everybody else paid probably a third of what current price is?
Right.
I don't think you'd be a happy camper. You know you got to pay for being last to the party, but you don't want to pay triple. So the question that we ask ourselves is, where is the fair level? All you have to do is plug in standard TA to go back and just reason this out. Common sense applies here. If you go back and you look at the common sense level for this, that puts you in 22 to 25 cents. How much time did we spend last year at 22 to 25 cents? That is a solid floor to bank on. If I have to pull nothing but common sense out and look at this, 22 to 25 cents is exactly where I'm going to put you. And I've been calling for that for easily 7-8 months. The series of events that will get this there, it's not looking too good right now for the probability, but there's this thing called Black Swan, and that's what's going to do it. We don't know when it's coming, but by virtue of what I just told you, it has to happen. Would you not agree?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm expecting. Is that this drop that I'm waiting for, the big one, will be an event-driven drop. It's not just going to be, oh, people are taking profit. It's not going to be that. It's going to be an event.
No. So let's take a look at Bitcoin here. I'll try to get some of the nonsense out of the way here. Sometimes this looks like it looks like a cotton candy explosion.
I thought I was looking at like a star system somewhere else.
Some of my charts look like the 1990s version of the internet, but it's all right. So let's just take a look at this. So the green line again, these are all Fibonacci lines. The green lines, the AI lines, the dotted lines are my alarms, so don't be thrown off by that. But what we had here a couple of weeks ago is now I'm looking at the 6-hour chart. We had a very defined head and shoulders right here. Here's your shoulder, here's your head, here's your shoulder. When we got to about right here, I said, okay, party over, we're into a new formation. So this did not play out. This is the point that I want to make about TA. TA will only take you so far down the road. I say this to my group all the time. They know what we know, and they use it against us. I mean, any joker with TradingView can say, well, I learned in a book that, hey, if I see this, I see it, we got this, and there we go, we should be down here. They know you know that, and they're using it against you, because what they want you to do is they want you to commit, and then they pull the rug on you. But what we've noticed, let me give you a good example if I can find one. What we've noticed is a lot of these TA moves go 50%, just enough to get everybody committed, and then they yank the rug. So say for example, if we're going to go for, I'll just spout some numbers here. Say for example, if you're just hardcore sure that you got a TA move that's going to go from $1 to, let's say, $1.50, they'll let it go all the way up to like $1.25, and then they'll just turn it on you. And you're going to go, and what they want you to do is they want you to commit, because until you commit, they don't make no money. And so what they'll do is they're making money not once, not twice, but multiple times, because when they give you the TA, they tease you enough to get into the system, they got your money once. And then they run it up 50%, and then they yank it, and then you panic and you sell, and they've got you twice. And then they drop it, and now you think, oh, well, okay, now it's going to go down. And then they got you a third time, then a fourth time, and that's how they do. They're like a dope dealer. They just give you a little taste of something, then they pull it back from you. So I'm not a big fan of trusting exclusively TA. What we do is we use TA within the unfair advantage grid, and we use the statistical anomalies that are in there, the statistical data that shows us when a pulse marker is coming. Yes, we should see a move. When we see an AI line that says, yes, there is a probability that we're going to go to that, we trust that, and then we plug in the TA to that. If we get a match, and oftentimes we do, we know the odds are in our favor. So getting on to Bitcoin here. So we got to this thing here, and it just basically went sideways on us. Now, this will be a good example. Now, when you see this, most people understand TA, and we're going to go with this here through this evening's narrative. Clearly, we're getting into some sort of a rounded bottom on some of the smaller channels. Clearly, we are getting into something that looks on the 6 hour like a bull flag. It does look like a bull flag. Now, where would that put us? Probably put us right here on this double AI line, very, very easily, right here. And now, again, that's about the $50,000 to $51,000 line, where a lot of these YouTubers are saying, yeah, we're going to go there. Yeah, we're going to go there. The reason why they're saying that is because they're using TA. You know, the blind leading the blind. But they don't understand the greater narrative of that black swan thing we just discussed. So whether we get there or whether we don't, you know, you can expect that most people are betting very, very heavily right there. Because again, you can see we have support and resistance right there. It makes complete technical sense that this is exactly where we should be going. However, as I said, what I expect to probably have happen is, because you think you're going to make that, they'll run you about right there, and then they'll yank the rug and run it the other direction. Possibly. That's one of the possibilities. So don't be afraid. I speak an awful. I run through. So if you got some questions, just interrupt me and just jump in here. I don't want to hog in the floor here, but got a lot to cover in a short time to cover. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple other things here in Bitcoin. This is the 1 hour. So now we've got on the 1 hour, we've got a very believable channel here. So again, here's a call. I want to explain what you're looking at here. This is kind of one of our little internal jokes at the unfairadvantage.chat. We call our system the magic chicken bones. So if you guys are seeing in Joe's chat, what the hell is this magic chicken bones? This is what my group calls my system. They say it's spooky accurate, so we've called it the magic chicken bones. That's our little euphemism for my system. But ping is basically just a shorthand for I told you so. So back when we were up here, I gave a call down here. I said, this is the line we're going to fall to, and boom, boom, boom. We hit it, ping, perfect hit. That's the sound of a golf club making the perfect strike on a golf ball. So we rounded at the bottom, and we're heading up. So now where I would expect on this chart is, I think this is back up here. This is our first line on a smaller scale. 48 might be a little ambitious, but about 40, let's call it 47.5 is about where I think that rug pull may potentially happen. This marks the halfway point between, or the close enough halfway point for being in that thing. You can see if we got to right here, this is probably where they would reverse it and send it down. If we were to take this channel, we would be striking the bottom of that channel right about there. So we wouldn't be breaking into this channel. Let's go ahead and bring that on up there. So if we had this channel, we could possibly be working our way up here, hit that, get a little resistance, and then go back, you know, some other direction or something like that. So my money is probably right there when you see something, you see a reversal. I have no doubt in my mind that we're probably going to get that far. We're going into the weekend, and anybody who's been watching these markets, Friday and Saturday used to be a calm time in the markets, not so much anymore. Sunday is when it usually gets really wild, Sunday on into Monday. One of the things that you guys need to understand that are in North America is China, basically what I like to tell everybody is China, there's 10 times more of them than there are of us. and they love money. They love to gamble. They are, I say this lovingly because I lived in the Philippines. They're just a pack of degenerate gamblers. They love money and gambling go hand in hand, and so they dig this. And so this is just right up their alley. And you have to understand, there's 10 times more of them than there are of us. And so any move that we see is magnified. Now, I'm Central Chicagoland time here right now at 7:10 during this broadcast. So those guys are asleep. So let's say, for example, if we get a pump, a decent pump, they'll come up, they'll wake up in 12 hours, they'll see that, and they'll magnify it. Or they'll turn around. And so usually what you see, you ever notice you wake up in the morning in North America and like, what the hell happened? Well, that's why. Because China, there's 10 times more of us. So it doesn't take hardly anything for those guys to take what we've got going and build on it, or slap it down and send it the other direction. So that's why I keep vampires hours. I told Joe, I haven't had a decent night's sleep during the day. I haven't seen the sun very much at all this year, simply because, I spend my time up till 5 o'clock in the morning, because I'm not going to miss this show. You kidding me? Especially not right now. Hell no. So I'm watching this, and I was up till about 4:30. I didn't get up till about 3 p.m. today because, all the action happens overnight, and it did happen again last night. So to kind of finish out this chart before we jump on to the next one, I expect probably around about 47 to be where we're going to get. So we'll zoom in on a couple of other charts here and see if maybe we can get a little more consensus on the 15-minute, see if we get anything like that. So again, we've got a couple of call arrows. So this one's about ready. Well, I'm sorry, this one did play out. So we went up, ping, we got just a little bit of a wick, so that one's been verified. So our next call here is going to be right on up. But again, so here's that area on the smaller 15. It makes very, very good sense to me. If we just go ahead and just look at the move here, we don't really have that big of a motion. That's only 10.5% roughly to get to that. And if we get a little bit of FOMO action and people see a little bit of a move, they're going to dogpile in on this and shove it right straight up to 47, 47.5. But at that point in time, this is another little analogy I like to teach people, is there are times in the market where they let us drive the car, and there's some times where they drive the car. So they have a narrative from January to December where they want this to be. And the analogy that I give with this is it's kind of like a pilot flying from New York to Los Angeles. Anyone who understands, has ever flown a plane, understands that, a plane is off course most of the time. But generally they know where they want to start and they know where they want to stop. It's the pilot's job, meaning the crypto exchanges, to keep it on course. So what they will do sometimes is they will let the, say if we're starting here and we're ending here, and perhaps possibly we've got some areas they want to be, we want to go from here to here, but basically sometimes they'll let it go and they'll go up, and then the computer will grab it and pull it back down into the narrative, and then possibly everybody panics and stuff. But make no mistake about it, this is a highly manipulated market. It is the Wild West, as everybody knows this, and they know, the powers that be, the quote-unquote the great unknown, they know exactly where this is going. Exactly where this is going. There might be days when it seems like we're driving the car, but it doesn't last for very long. And we've seen that in the last couple of months where TA doesn't work. When your TA doesn't work, that tells you that the people, the human beings, are not driving the car. And we see that an awful lot. So, but anyway, going to have to put too fine a point on it here. 47.5 is about where I'm at right now in the next 100 hours. Probably we would be moving our way towards that. I don't see a dump coming just yet. So we're going to take a look at one more thing. Let me jump over to Platinum Pro here and get into the larger time frames so we can kind of take a look and see what truly is to be expected. Let's pull up the 1 day and let's pull up the 1 week. All right. So looking at the 1 day, this is where the narrative becomes very, very easy to explain. So here it is right here in a nutshell, folks. So I have a window right here, just like I said. I'm expecting about $42,000 to $48,000. That's likely. I put high degree of probability on it. Now, I think the ceiling, the ultimate ceiling for us, where all hope well, no, not all hope, but let's say where things change, the discussion for are we truly going to take off from here starts to change at 51.5. Unless and until we break 51.5 or on in or around there, I don't want to hear anything about we're going to the moon. Keep your moon boots in the corner, because we're not going nowhere. This is all just a short-term show in a larger broadcast, or in a larger perspective, because you've got your you've got a lot of resistance right here, right here. And so until we break this, let me just take that, until we break that line right there, we are not, basically we get completely past this. Until we break that area right there, which actually does go up as high as $65,000, we are not truly in a no-holds-barred bull cycle, okay? So let's go ahead and zoom out on that, and let me explain a couple things about what you're looking at. So again, here's our head and shoulders that didn't play out. We're on into a next cycle, so let me get all this garbage off here real quick. So again, we are looking very bullish right now. That's what they want us to think, and that's the cards we're being dealt. So that's the cards we have to play right now. So what I want to call your attention to is these two lines right here. These two lines right here. We're on the 1 day. So there's some certain things I'm sure Joe will. I'd like you to interject a little bit here. Don't let me just ramble. Bring in what you and Rich and all your group has been talking about. I'd like you to kind of add to this discussion. So these two days right here, these represent days. Those would be, I'm sorry, they're not coming up on the chart here. Hang on. So there we go. Okay, so this would be the 9th and August 9th and August 10th. Coming up here pretty quick. When we get to these two lines here, something big is going to happen. There's going to be probably within the next 3 days. And let's put this by Monday and Tuesday. By Monday and Tuesday, I think we're going to start to see something really crazy. So we could build on up here. I'll just give you a couple theories because nobody knows. That's the beauty of this. We could build up to this point here or this point here. But come about here, let's see, what is that? That's the 9th is, let me look at so the 9th is Monday. So remember, when it's Sunday evening for us in North America, it's Monday morning in China. They're open for business, and they're ready to send this thing down. So we are potentially heading up. Monday might come. They might roll out. Uncle Joe might give us a little pep talk about what's to come for the next 90 days, if you know what I'm saying, so I don't get Joe kicked off of YouTube. And all hell might break loose, and they might dump it then. That's scenario one. Or we could go further up. But here's what I want to show you. Going further from there. And again, we are watching this and playing this out. We watch just little bit by little bit. But here's the important thing that I want to show you. This line, and this line represent the start. We've already gotten past this. This is September 1st. This is October 1st. So whatever is going to play out for us is going to happen. So I know a lot of your viewers, a lot of my viewers, a lot of my subscribers are like, when is this going to happen? Well, there's your answer. Inside of that white box. Would you agree? Before October, on or around October? Would you agree, Joe?
Yeah, and someone had posted a comment, and I've actually thought about this. I didn't mention this to anybody yet, but they're like, Joe, is it possible that we just rally the hell up pretty high, like really high, and then the damn crash comes that you've been waiting for? And I'm thinking, that is entirely possible.
I agree.
It is. It would be nice if it happened first, of course. And I'm just looking at the political side of things, going, yeah. I mean, if I'm betting, I'm betting it would happen first. The crash would happen first, just because we're getting close to some stuff. Arizona.
Correct.
And I'm like, what would that do to the market? I don't see a rallying market. And the remote viewers, crypto viewing, they were seeing something, and they're doing this month. They were looking at this month, and they're like, we see something about Delta variant or Lambda variant. Spooks markets. Headlines: spooks markets, and markets drop. Mainly talking about stock markets, but I'm thinking, again, this
market is market.
Yeah.
Market
so.
is market.
I mean,
obviously we got a lot to unpack. We don't want to shove too much down your viewers and my viewers' throats. My viewers are used to this. They've been listening to it. I've been screaming Chicken Little. They're used to Chicken Little Red Baron for like the last 6 months.
I know. Me too. So, yeah. I'm right there with you.
So, we're not telling tales out of school here, but when is this going to happen, guys? I'm telling you, every fiber of my being. I'll go on record. If you want to chastise me and whip me in public, have at it. But I don't think you're going to get your opportunity. I think that by the time October 30th rolls around. By the way, that's my birthday, so it's going to be a hell of a birthday for me. By the time I celebrate my 54th birthday, I'm going to be celebrating for the top of a very large stack of money. That's what I think. And so this right here now, there's a lot of, and Joe will back me on this, there's a lot of stuff. October is the high holy holidays for the powers that be.
Yep.
Things happen in October. We have the start of the fourth quarter of the year. If you don't even want to believe in YouTube, if you don't believe in woo-woo, you got to believe that if you understand, you run a business, you know, fourth quarter is when things start happening. You know, you got to get into positions, you got to get out of positions, you got to buy stuff, you got to get your taxes straightened out. Things start happening on a world basis in October, and so that's just the way of the world. Always has been, always will be. So if you plug in the you know, the moon cycles and the woo woo and the current events and stuff like that, we have what cannot be undersold as the perfect storm getting ready to come, and that storm is going to be in this model right here, undeniably, has to be. And so what we can go several different ways. Now let me I see something here that's calling my attention, and I want to show this here real quickly. Sorry, like I said, I'm a multi-track thinker, so kind of, you know, enjoy the ride. So what I've called here, kind of, okay, so if you can see this, let me change the color. I know some of you guys watch this on a phone, and so it's a little hard to see what I'm talking about. This red triangle right here, this is one of my pattern recognition thing. I'm quite good at pattern recognition. It's just one of my skill sets. One of the things that we're famous for is something called a J hook, and it's so far performing flawlessly. What we see, this is a good example of what I said earlier about how they get you goaded into position, then they whip the rug on you. A standard person looking at this triangle would go, okay, well, we're going to get a 70% breakout on the triangle. We did, in fact, do that right here, 70% to the level, and it went up. Now, what do you see here? Can you see this okay, Joe? I don't want to make sure.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. So what, if you were just, let's just get our TA hat on here. So let me do it the other direction. So if we're using just standard classical analysis, there's the start of our triangle. Let's plug that into our triangle here. Where are we going? We're going right here. Lo and behold, right to an AI line, right to an ISIS line. Now, could we get to that? Sure, looking like we're about to. Now, here's the thing that I tell you guys on this, because right now I don't trust these guys any further than I can throw them. I put this purple line here. Purple is theory on my charts. Anytime you see purple, this is just kind of, hey, you might want to be aware of this is what I'm thinking, but I'm not calling. What we've seen over and over and over with this triangle formation, it busts out at 70%. All the TA guys are going, yay, I was right again. It goes up 50% of this opening mouth, and then it turns and hooks and dumps on it. Why does it do that? Because what happens is the exchanges know what we know or what we think we know, and they use it against us. So you got guys that are watching this that are taking positions right on that alarm that I'm lighting up right now, or basically trailing, and once they see a little bit of something that makes them feel good about it, they jump into a position, they're locked and loaded, they're leveraged, they're doing whatever, they're going long on this, and it goes up, and then it just all of a sudden, boom, just goes south on them, and everybody's standing there going, what the hell just happened? We've seen this play out over and over and over again for easily probably 6-7 months of me watching this. This is more predictable than not. And so I've told everybody up until just recently, and we haven't broke out of my yellow zone box here yet. So I'm telling you, be looking for the possibility that Bitcoin may go no higher than this. But right now, currently we're at 43. So I'm kind of the mind that I think this gray arrow here, I know there's a lot to look at. This gray arrow could possibly wick a little bit. But the overall narrative is we might get as far as the teaser that I talked about going 50%, and there's your dump right there. So this could, and so far is still tracking, this could play out. So just be aware that I already kind of saw this. I put this on, roughly about 6 weeks ago when this played out, about roughly 4 or 5, 6 weeks ago, whenever this triangle formation started. So this is not going to shock me if this thing slaps down and reverses. So, and that could happen probably around about Sunday. It could actually happen by the time we hit these two blue markers. So if we get up a little bit here, we hit this blue, this could be the thing that I'm talking about, where we hit this blue, China wakes up or whatever, they roll out the jab announcement that, hey, everybody's going to get this, like it or love it, but you're going to get it kind of thing. And that's the public narrative.
Right.
That causes
the cover story.
How that goes. Folks, these markets, I want to kind of, it's funny now that I got your audience and my audience. My audience already knows this. I don't hear an awful lot of people talking about this. You remember when Elon Musk was supposed to be on Saturday Night Live? Here's a good example of this. I told the guys, if we go back in the Doge charts, I had done these lines here. I said, okay, this is the hour. I broke it down to the 1 hour. I said, this is the hour Elon Musk is going to take the stage on Saturday Night Live. Now, all the Moon Boys and all the Doge fanatics were going, oh, it's going to be on. It's going to be on. You remember that? How everybody was just, oh, when he gets on stage, he's going to be wearing a Doge shirt, and it's just getting, we're going to be rich. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. So I went back 30 days from that, and I watched all of the AI lines and all of the stuff, and I said, okay, well, here's where we need to be. I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to show you this. I say here's where we need to be going into that. But see, we had already seen a pump about. I want to say I'm doing this from memory. We had already seen a pre-news pump for that. I want to say roughly 2 or 3 weeks in advance of him taking the stage. So where do you go when the whole market wasn't really doing all that well? You're telling me Doge is going from good to bad to better when he takes the stage? I don't see it. Felt like a sucker bet. And so I told all my guys, expect that this is not going to work out the way that you think it's going to work out. Now, if you guys want to vet this and see if I was right or not, go back and look at the day that Elon Musk took the stage and look what happened to the hour. What happened? The whole damn market went straight in the toilet, didn't it? Not just Doge, everything went straight in the toilet. And I had it marked and I had it charted and I showed the guys, this is exactly to the hour when it's going to happen. So it's that level of technical ability that we have with these charts, is to be able to, use a little bit of intuition, use a little bit of TA, but a whole lot of statistical analysis and just common sense applied to this stuff. So the point I'm making here is, news, meaning Elon Musk is going to say, has nothing. They knew. The way that I look at this, to really kind of put a conspiratorial bend to it, I think he was basically brought in there as kind of a hopium token.
Yeah.
And they all knew they were going to dump the markets when he took the stage. I mean, it's kind of hard not to think that. You see it, and 1 + 1 is always equal 2, as far as I understand. Correct. So when you see that, and why is this not playing out the way it should? You've been played. You've been played. So back to this, we've got this window here. So from where we're at right now, we've got from here to October 1st, we've got 56 days. I imagine that whatever we're going to see is going to play out primarily here now. The 22nd and 23rd, you and I both are kind of in agreement. Some major stuff is going to play out. 22nd, 23rd. That puts you right about here on this chart. Let me go ahead and make a little squiggle here. 22nd, 23rd. So right about here. So really it does shrink our box a little bit. So that's going to be a crazy zone right there. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Now, what do you see coming for 22nd, 23rd?
Yeah, we're basically thinking that might be the time when the big drop happens, or at least for the month of August, anyways, the biggest notable drop.
Yeah. So this is not to. I know some of you guys are new to listening to me and hearing some of my theories, so this is probably all completely new news to you. I see some similarities to this that I see to the Elon Musk episode, because let's make the assumption that this is the day that, October 30th here on this chart, this is the day that Elon's going to take the stage. We're already seeing action. If we see action here, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be something that you're not expecting happening here. So in other words, if we have a huge run up here, it should happen here. If you're just applying, the pump or dump, whatever the magnified thing, should happen on in or around right here. But if we're already seeing it here, which I am in full agreement with you, then what does that leave us? Once we go up, what happens after we go up? We go down. What happens if we go down? We go up. So whatever we see within this, and to me right now it's trending up. The higher we go, the more you can expect that dump. And if we start to see that dump, I'm already there telling you where I expect this to be. Bitcoin now. We haven't talked about Bitcoin price predictions. Where do you see it? Where do you see the ultimate? I know how you're going to answer, so I'm gonna follow in along behind you. My subscribers already know where I'm at on this.
Yeah, honestly, I think Bitcoin can get under 20K.
I agree. 6 months ago, I had this it's still on my charts, by the way. 6 months ago, I had levels of, I'm watching for 24, I'm watching for 18, and then I like to have a worst case scenario, 12. Now, as we watch the charts, as we watch the levels right now, I'm of the mind that if we're gonna drop, we're probably going to be anywhere from a 60 to 80% drop. I mean, really, just a real kick in the sack kind of thing. And it's going to be so bad, it's just going to just absolutely devastate everybody. Like I said, this is my passion. I love doing this. So, if I'm dumping a lot of information on you guys, rewind Joe's live stream, because I'm sure you're going to hear levels that you didn't hear them the first time. The way, let me circle back on one thought here, because it needs to be said so everybody understands. This dump must happen for what I said earlier from a financial standpoint. Everybody didn't get their chocolate ice cream cone, or didn't get their chocolate popsicle. So that has to happen. So I think we can be reasonably sure that everybody needs to get their fair share of XRP in the broader market. I'm a student of human nature. Have been my entire life. Sometimes I feel like I'm looking through a window watching the rest of the world. So I just have that unique advantage. What I look at, and as I study people, I've been through many, many market cycles. I lost millions of dollars after 9/11 when I was a young kid. Crazy amounts of money after 9/11. And but one of the things that when everybody else was having, all the bad luck, I was watching how people were doing things. Here, if you look at human nature, here's what happens. We basically kind of have a reptile mind. And so we go into survival mode, and this is what all you guys are listening, kind of really listen to me and watch this play out. You'll hear this with a lot of people, but I want to take this down to street level. A lot of people right now, it seems to be a crypto versus everything else discussion. And in my mind, generally, now again, I don't want to say it and unsay it, but so Joe and I are saying we don't know when this is coming. We know it's coming, right, Joe? We know it's coming.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to interject and lay over this discussion. When the crash, and this is not a crash, it's a multitude of crashes. I am a 32-year real estate investor. I know whereof as I speak. I was the largest non-corporate landowner in my state way back when. So I have got a fair amount of experience with real estate, to put it lightly. So we have a housing crash coming. We have a bond market crash coming, a stock market crash coming, and a crypto market crash coming, a financial general market crash coming, a labor crash coming. It is not one crash, it is several. It is not one domino, it is multiple. So what I want you to understand is this. Just because this is the rug pull that you may find yourself wandering right into, and I want you to really listen to me as I tell you this. Do not assume crypto is the golden ring that you should run to if everything else is going down. Because if I were herding cattle, I would herd them in a way that makes them think they're safe to run a certain direction. Correct, Joe?
Yeah, it's true.
So be aware of this. If you guys don't know me yet, I hope a lot of you guys do join me at my website. I got so much more to teach you on our Discord. But understand this. This is the way that the game is played. This is the way the elites, the power of the bee, have always played the game. Get the masses focused on something, get them behind it, get them running in a direction, hit them again and again and again. Crypto is not your breakout solution right now. So what that is, that's a topic for another conversation. But what I want you to understand is let's talk about human nature for just a single second. Human nature is such that's going to trigger all these crashes must happen, and I do include crypto with that, because if you're going to crash, here's what human nature says. Oh my God, the stock market just went down. Oh my God, I can't get my money out of Wells Fargo. Oh my God, what happens? We go into preservation mode. We start gathering that which is important to us: our food, our loved ones, our guns, our bullets, our name your favorite thing you think, our toilet paper. This is what causes those runs. Do you think crypto is going to be exempt from that? Crypto is, so in other words, what I'm saying is if you're holding Bitcoin and you're a weak hand and you see the market going to shit or whatever, there's going to be a certain amount of people that are going to run to Bitcoin, but there's going to be also a lot of smarter people that pull out. Why? Because I've seen this as a real estate person, because Bitcoin does not stand in a vacuum. It represents money. It can be converted to fiat. So in other words, if you can't pay your rent, if food's going to hell and all of a sudden you go into panic mode and the only money you got because you lost your job is Bitcoin, guess where you're going to go to get your money to buy your toilet paper and your food? And that's going to set that domino in motion. And I don't believe anyone has quite broke it down to that level on YouTube before, but I'm telling you right now, this is the way human nature works. It's going to be a series of dominoes that will culminate in every single one of these things falling, and that does include crypto. You agree?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's move on to. So what I'm saying here is this. Be safe and be good. Be prepared. Don't assume anything is your safety thing. Keep some cash. I don't act as a financial advisor. I'm not licensed like that stuff. Even though I've got an insane amount of experience with this stuff. Obviously, you wear your big boy or big girl pants. Don't hang it on Joe. Don't hang it on me. That I told you. I mean, common sense applies here. Don't ever go all in on just one thing. Don't hoard up all cash because cash loses value. Don't buy all Bitcoin. Don't buy all crypto because crypto and stuff like that is subject to variance. And you don't want to see a down market and then have to buy yourself bread for $25 a loaf. You know what I'm saying? So silver, gold, whatever, you want to be across all markets because you just don't know which one's going to go down, which one's going to stay up, and in what order. So you want to be diverse across all this stuff. That is common sense, not advice. It's just good common sense. So, hey, Ian, how you doing, buddy? You know what? He was born when I was over in Africa. I got stuck over in Kenya for 6 months when Corona started, and I got the announcement he was born. Man, it's incredible to see how much he's grown just since I've been home. That's crazy. So, you gonna take over your channel for you when you get too old to do it?
I know. I have to teach him the ways of the snip. It'll be JSnip 5.
There you go. JSnip 5. There you go. All right. So let's cover this. And so I obviously, you know, I'd love to be a part of. I should probably ask you. You're going public with this, right? This is not on your Patreon.
Yeah. No. This is one. This one's gonna be public.
Okay. So I would be quite pleased to be a regular and to, you know, kind of expand upon, you know, with your Patreon guys and go dive a little deeper, you know, because with membership comes privilege. Dive a little bit deeper into some of these concepts. And of course, you guys that want to join me over at the unfairadvantage.chat and the unfairadvantage.tube, please do so. I'd love to school you in the ways of survival. That's my thing. That's my jam. So anyway, we just understand that be positioned. Here's a good thing that Joe's talked about. You guys that are wanting to get into crypto that are not what I call seasoned, you must understand this. And I know Joe's talked about this, but I'm going to talk about it again because, you know, good advice bears repeating, or good concepts bear repeating. Today is the day where you better get your money on the exchanges if you intend to buy crypto, because I'm telling you right now, if we go down, if we go black, if we go dark, the internet goes down, your internet goes down, someone else's internet, that's not the time. The banks, you know, dry up or whatever. That's not the time to start thinking, you know, shoot, I should be buying some crypto. You want to be doing that right now. You want to get your money in there. You want to get seasoned. You want to do market. You want to do pre-made orders, because if the internet goes down, and say, for example, I'll use Coinbase because I'm a big Coinbase guy. You know, if you want to buy, I'll just say Bitcoin, Doge, whatever. If you're all about it, if you look at some of my charts and you like some of my predictions or some of the stuff that you see, or you just have a number in mind and you like, you know, I'm thinking next week maybe I want to buy that if it hits it. Now is the time to get ready for that, right, Joe? You don't
Yeah,
try
your money needs to be there so you can pounce, put your limit orders in, get your shit ready so that if the power does go out and the market's dumping, your orders could fill. When your power comes back on, you go, holy shit, I got some, you know, cheap ass XRP.
You might wake up to probably the best morning you ever, you know, you might get to stay in bed that day.
Yeah, you might be hot and sweaty in your house, but you might be, you know, from your power being out, but you actually might be with a smile on your face.
Now, I told my subscribers, you know, I love to break things down. So like I said, I like to take my toaster apart before I take my toaster. I like to see how things work. But here's a cold chill that I like to give people that, you know, you have mentioned, but not to the depth that you probably should have. You have mentioned, you know, the exchanges might go down. Let me explain to you exactly how many barriers are between you and a successful trade. And I'm talking to you guys that are listening to this live stream. You are making some radical assumptions that this world is going to function correctly. A, you're figuring your internet is working. That's number one. You're figuring that you can get on exchange. That's number two. Oh, by the way, when you do that, you got to get on Google most of the time and do your little 2FA. You're assuming Google's working. All right. You're assuming Google's internet. We know Google's internet is working. So there's 4 strikes against you. You haven't even made it to the exchange yet. So the exchange, you're assuming that you have you have the ability, that they're not illiquid or whatever goofiness that they pull. They're not under service. So there's 5. Now, also, you're assuming that your phone company is going to be functional. You got all of these things lining up. Now, you're also assuming that your bank is going to be able to transfer those funds. So you got 6, 7, 8 hurdles between you and a successful trade. So this is what I'm saying. Most people never really thought about, you know, they think, well, you know, hopefully the internet will be working, everything will be good. Oh, that's just one of many things you have to worry about. So this is why you have to be thinking proactively, several chess moves ahead. Got to get that money on the bank in the exchanges right now. And I know that's a scary proposition, letting them hold your money, but you know, this is welcome.
It's the only way to do it. I mean, you're either playing on the exchange or you're not. Yeah, we understand there's risk, but again, risk reward. We want to take a chance because we want more crypto, so that when it does blast off, we have more.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been investing for almost 35 years, and I haven't found anything perfect that doesn't include risk. I mean, welcome to the real world. That's just how it
That's
is.
right.
But we would you rather have it in the bank waiting to trade because they shut that damn thing down on you, and then you don't get none of it because they'll just keep it. So I'd rather have my money on Coinbase. Now the other thing is everything goes black and stuff. Then you just kind of get into hope mode because it's out of your hands. It's between you and your creator, I guess. Hopefully you wake up in crypto, or hope you wake up and Coinbase executed your trade. You cannot control that, but better to steer the odds in your favor. Correct?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get out of this. Let's talk a little XRP because that's pretty much the belle of the ball right now. So one more little quickie thing here. So this is basically the 1 week on Bitcoin, and we'll get off this. Now again, this is my little target call. I said we're going to get into this box. Just execute perfectly. We just hit the top of that box, and we hit that fib ring right there. And so far, the discussion hasn't gone any further. Now, this would be from where I made this call right here to right here, a 50%. We could see a turnaround. Now, our first resistance starts right at about my dotted line right here. So, but I don't think, and again, this is 47.5. I don't think if we hit this and cannot convincingly break out of this, that we got anything to talk about as far as like further growth. This is just to kind of hit this, and then we'll move on to XRP. You still got 10% boost range. Bitcoin, that's a big move for Bitcoin still. So we could go 5% of that turn. We could hit that and knock off of that and go down. So not a time to get necessarily bullish about Bitcoin. I know that's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but it's the truth. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Ethereum here real quick too. I want to do Doge also, and then I think we can kind of call our quits for today. So Ethereum's looking really good. Now, here's a good example. Now, purple is a theory call. Okay, I want to be very clear about this. Purple is a theory call. This is not a call. I wasn't telling anybody, hey, it's going down. I'm telling you that I expect it if they reverse. That's a discussion I had in my Discord. Now, we are looking very, very good. It's just been bullish all the way. Probably a little too bullish. I mean, does that look like something that's going to go on and on forever? I mean, the days of wine and roses have to end.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you back out and look at that, and you get your common sense hat on, you're like, ooh, that's, where do you think that's going to go? It ain't going to end well. So you've got from the lowest low to the highest high, 17 days. Usually these things break out and start going down and have a decent reversal at about 10 to 12 days. My group knows this. I've shown them over and over again. 7 to 10 days is when we start looking for reversals. That's why I put this line right here, as I expected. And we did come down. We did come down perfectly, bounced right across the top of that, just like I expected, and then we had a run up. Just basically put this, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking there's no way this continues. Good, bad, or indifferent market. This thing has to go down, pull back. Now, I would expect from this, I'm just going to make some sloppy lines. Here's a dual AI line. This is a Fibonacci line. This is also an ISIS line. And to get into this here, let me zoom in a little bit. Those dual lines are just magic. I have so many guys that swing trade that just absolutely murder it. I'm going to take that out. They just absolutely murder it, just playing between these dual AI lines. So to go from, let's just say in theory here, let's give it one more pump and take it up one more time, because I think this weekend is going to be full of all kinds of hopium. There we go. TA is plugging in beautifully straight to the AI line. Now, so from this point, let's say by the time we get there, let's say that we're getting on into Sunday, Saturday night for us, Sunday in Asia. If we take from this line right here, I expect a possible dump, maybe from here to here, maybe. That would be a drop of 14-15%. Doable. Doesn't mean it's going to be a slam dump. It could be just a reversal and a walk down. And I don't want to give an exact call on that for free. Obviously, I want you guys to be a member of the group to be able to kind of get the details. But do not be surprised if we're going to be probably smooching right on this red line again as a pullback, and perhaps possibly even lower. I would probably even expand that right on down, just anywhere in the zone. But basically, this is probably a little bit more realistic. So hitting that and penetrating into that red box there, but potentially coming all the way down here to possibly right about here. So and so you guys that can't see that, that's 0.222, Joe. .222.
Of course.
Of course. You can't write this stuff. All right. So, and by the way, just to kind of jump ahead in the privilege, I do have a, and it's not because of you, and it's not because of anything like that, but it is funny how the similarities work. ISIS is our bot, and by the way, why do I call it ISIS? I have two bots that I use. I have a long range bot that I use that predicts kind of 2 to 3 to 4 5 years out, called Anubis, and I have another one called ISIS. Just works out that way. It's not anything esoteric, so there's no deeper meaning to it. I'm into Egyptology and stuff like that. So cool name, I went with it, but it works out from a descriptive. It's just something. But ISIS is our short term in Anubis, and so Anubis has XRP diving down as ISIS does too. But 222 comes up as a predicted low. So I've been saying 22 to 25 on 222, and I have an order in for 222. And for 18 on XRP. So, all right. So Ethereum's looking like it's probably going to lead the pack as like a reversal, because we're just getting that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And XRP. Okay, so we had a little bit of a run up and then a pullback. So we're in a rounded bottom here. And I just got up a couple hours ago, so I was looking at the general market. And this played out just beautifully the way that I said it would. So here's a good example of make you think something and then don't give it to you. This right here, I can't draw on this because it'll pull all my garbage back. This right here, shoulda, coulda, woulda, been a very classic bear or bull flag. Should have taken us on up here, probably up into this range, but we didn't get that. We got, instead, if you take this distance right here, and you take this distance right here, lo and behold, just like I said, this distance is half of this run right here. So here it is. They gave it down. They encouraged everybody to think, oh, here it is. And then they dumped it. Thank you for your contribution to the Coinbase fund. This is how the game is played. Right here is a classic example of just what I told you. If you trust TA, they will screw you. You cannot think exclusively that TA is going to bail you out. In good times, when we get to the bottom of the iceberg, as I like to say, when we get to the bottom of the market where there's nothing but up, TA is going to work wonderful for you. You're probably not going to fail too often. I mean, any monkey with a dart, can hit a bullseye if you throw enough darts. So, but we're not to the bottom of the market yet. So this is what I'm saying. And so this is a good example of, let's do this and I'll show you. So here's the move right here. And lo and behold, it is literally 50% of that move. Okay. Now, where I see this going. Now, as I told you at the top of this broadcast, I told you that computers have a certain amount of OCD that's built into them. This is what we refer to on my group as an opening move. An opening move is a move that is done by the computer. And in the distance, we call this velocity. And because we can't say inches or millimeters, we have to say velocity because, this is a group. So we have this distance that has to basically, this has been opened. We got to close this file or close this discussion. Now, what we can do with this is we can go up this amount or we can go down this amount. So I'm going to set this off to the side here a little bit and see if I can make some sense of this. So as we're looking at this, we've got kind of a bull flag, and we could extend this and say this is kind of a bull flag all the way out to here. But you can see it didn't play out. It went into, instead, a rounding bottom, which again is another bullish formation. But this is crypto, this is manipulated stuff. So just for fun, let's take where we're at right now and plug that in to where we're at. Look where it puts us, right here on top of this box. And so it's very possible. This is scenario one. I'm not giving you a call, I'm giving you possibilities. I'm going to show you the up and I'm going to show you the down variations. It's very possible. Expect this distance to be covered, either up or down. So with an opening move, you basically got this down or you got this up. So let's show the up and see if it plugs into anything going up. All right, so if we are to take this and set it, and ISIS hasn't caught up yet, we haven't got the up, it's entirely possible that we could go up here. So if we were to go on a shorter or a longer time frame and check this against past historical resistance all the way over here, some of you guys want to do a little bit of homework. You got trade view in front of you that you can check for me here, so I don't have to open up too many screens and confuse you. Do we have any past historical resistance and support on, in, or around the 85 to 87% or 87-cent range. I'm going to tell you, bet you we do.
Let me take a little look-see.
I'll bet you we do.
And we're on XRP.
It's really spooky when you watch this grid play out. How often this happens? I mean, it's fun. It's
May. Yeah, we've got May. A couple times. Matter of fact, like 3 or 4 times in May.
Oh yeah.
And then again in June. Again in June.
Actually, I tell you what, I could have just done it this way. Let me get onto the one day here. I can share with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. So let's get there she is right there. So if we get into it, I'll let you know. I've already got it. On the one day. There it is right there. Right there at the bottom of that yellow box. 80 to 81. So if we are, I know this is a one day, it looks pretty big, but there it is right there. 80 to 81 right there at the bottom of that box. So we have the start of some resistance right in that area right there. So it is possible, it is very possible that we will probably take a move up, and we can do lots of other things too here. We can kind of say that this is inside of a channel going all the way like that, and it does stick inside of a running channel, kind of a 17-day channel that matches that Ethereum thing there too. So, but here's again, this is the 21st and 22nd. So I put these columns to represent those 2 critical days. So we've got this amount of time, which is about 3 days before we get into the questionable zone. So here's what I'm saying to you guys, that how do we trade this? My gut feeling is I think we are going to see some encouraging news here. So SEC, what's the latest? I just don't have time to do charts and stay up on the SEC. I watch Hogan once in a while, but where are we at with that on the news right now?
There's nothing really new on that just yet. I mean, one of my Richard Ruwu friend dude seems to think he got a little vision of judge smacking down the gavel, basically case, case closed, but no time frame. So there's.
I'll give you a time frame. I'll actually go right on record and say it publicly. It's going to be before the 3-day holiday. I can tell you right now. That's exactly what they do to us. I mean, every time they pass a major law or any kind of major thing, don't they always do it before a 3-day holiday? Yep. Makes perfect sense to me. And when that is again, if we bring some other stuff together, that is the end of the 3rd quarter going into the 4th quarter. Just is. So it makes perfect sense that would happen. We're lining all the pieces of the puzzle are lining up perfectly. So I would expect the 3-day holiday to yield something and on into Monday after that. So that holiday doesn't mean a rip to anybody else outside of the U.S. But we're a player in the market, so it does affect the entire market. Yeah. But so our first line of concern here is we got about 3 days to trade this like it's a normal market. But I'm telling you right now, until this thing shows a direction, takes a direction, shows a direction, or whatever, I would be very apprehensive of making any kind of committed move inside of these 2 days. Very. Just simply knowing that what I tell all my subscribers this is, right now you have to be very happy with the position. I'm not one to sell and chase knives to the bottom. I just don't do that. And catch knives or chase balloons, so to speak. And I tell everybody that right now, especially, that we are in the bearish part of a bullish market. Would you agree?
Yeah. And there's always always an unexpected event or two that no one ever accounts for. The black swan.
And so the thing is, but here's the beautiful part about this narrative is we're so stinking far to the bottom that the biggest war that we fight as crypto investors, and I preach this all the time on my YouTube channel, and I preach this on the thing, and my guys know this. They're probably in my. I'm not watching your chat, but I know they're in my chat verifying what I'm saying. Be happy with your position, because you must understand that if say for example, I'll just use XYZ token, and you buy it for $1 and it starts going down, oh my God, I'm going to sell it. Well, you got to lose 3%, 3.5% in your sell order, then whatever you lost when it's going down, and then again, you're going to buy it again, so you've lost about 10% before just to break even. It makes no sense. Yeah. So what I tell people is, if you're going to take a position in something now, you have, as I see it, 2 different ways of looking at it, or 2 different real no-lose options. If you buy something right now, for example, let's just say theoretically, Do you think that this yellow arrow right now, this yellow arrow might play out? And I'm thinking it will. If this yellow arrow is going to play out, let's say you're going to go ahead and you're going to jump in on that call, and you're going to try and maybe chase that thing up. Let's see how much that is. Not real huge. 13%. That's worth getting out of bed. 13.75. Maybe that's going to go up, and I do believe it probably will, because that puts you around about 80, 83, 82 cents. I see that happening. So if you wanted to do that, then do it. But here's the thing: it's 75 cents. If it goes the other direction, that velocity turns tail and goes down. How are you going to feel about owning? How are you going to feel about owning XRP for 75 cents or whatever? Yeah, 75 cents right now. Well, probably not too good in the short term. It's the battle between your ears that's the biggest battle. It's not what's going on in front of you. It's what's going on between your ears. But the thing is, I have to tell these guys, all wounds will be healed with time. If you take a position, well, first of all, don't go all in with the rent money. You know what I'm saying? But if you grab this at 75 cents, if you're that type of person that wants to come in and grab it at 75 cents, then here's what I'm going to tell you: is you have a probability, a good probability, of seeing this yellow arrow and then some possibly play out. If your thing is to get in and ride it all the way to infinity and beyond, I don't think that's going to work out too well for you just quite yet. But if you're a flipper, you want to get involved. I mean, there's certainly other more believable coins that you could do this with, and not quite so hairy scary as XRP can be. But if you just are married to the idea of trading XRP right now, and you want to get in on that and enjoy yourself a 13, 14, maybe possibly 15% pump, and God bless you, do it. But here's the thing about this: is if you do, and this thing goes the other direction, what are you going to do about it? Well, the answer, if I were you, if I were in Joe Lunchbucket's position, and I took a 75-cent call. Didn't do it with my rent money, so I'm not forced. Bad decisions force you to make worse decisions. So we're talking play money here, not the whole bankroll, not the whole choke wad. If you jump in on this and it goes down for a while, wait it out. It'll turn tail and go way past 75. I think we all are in consensus about that. So you do, in theory, here to kind of to put a cap on it, can't lose if you can win the game between your ears. True?
Yep.
Yeah. So okay. So as far as that goes, let's take a look here. So the short-term call, just to kind of give your viewers a little something. I don't want to just ramble and not give you any substance here. I'm seeing XRP here in the short term, probably going to about 80 to 82 cents. I feel good about that. Enough that I would probably put that out publicly. Now, if it goes to our first resistance here, I want to make you guys aware of this, because this is about a 50% call. Be aware that we could come out of this cup and handle, strike the bottom of this. I've already got it. This could be a rejection point. Just because we reject, what may happen here, let me give you a theory. We may come up here, hit this, reject down, but we'll probably ping pong along in here. It might look like, this guy's call didn't pan out. And we get to the end of this triangle, 70%, we get into the green, and that could be the thing that takes us up. Could very well be the thing that takes us up. So, but understand that what I'm telling you is that the likelihood of us hitting probably 78.5 cents is damn good. The probability of hitting 80, 81 cents is pretty reasonable. So I want to be very clear on that. So don't hold on. Don't be the last person to leave the party when the profit's on table. Take profit. Like Rich says, lick that ice cream cone.
That's right. Don't watch your ice cream melt.
Lick that damn ice cream cone, man. Because I'm telling you, I got a gal in my group that's trading Shiba. Are you doing anything with Shiba?
Not trading. I'm just sitting on it right now.
Okay.
No active trades.
I got a gal that follows SL. She's I joke with her. I love her to death. She's in our group, and she's pretty much our sole person yelling in the woods, Shiba, Shiba. You're trying to get everything to honor religion, whatever. I'm like, okay, I'll chart it for you, but I'm not. I just go lightly on me, man. I'm just coming around to Doge. Don't beat on me too bad. Yeah. I can only take so many dog coins in my portfolio before I kind of start going here. So anyway, if Shiba, kind of lost my point here, sorry about that. But she's all about the Shiba and stuff like that, and I'm just like, I totally lost my point there. As I'm prone to do quite often. But yeah, it's all going to go up, and I'm just to the point where we've got about 3 days where I think everything is going to look good, and when we get to that green box, I would caution. Yeah, that's what I was going to say is take the profits. So she's got it in her mind. According to, do you know you follow? I know you follow SL. What is SL saying she was going to do?
I don't know off the top of my head, but she thinks it's going to go. I mean, God, many multiples up.
Right. Okay. So let's take a look at this here. I did want to cover the dog coins. So Shiba right now, again, I have another. I'm telling you guys, I've been telling this for a long time here. Do not. When this thing has been a ski slope into the pit of hell for a long time. So this is kind of why I chastise my Shiba followers. Is I'm like, I'm not looking at anything that makes me feel good about this, because
Right.
if you go way out. I mean, you tell me, well, it's this, and this. I'm like, but again, I look at XRP. Never bet against the bankers. There ain't no bankers buying this thing. And I like to joke. There's like skateboard kids and people that like dogs and whatever buying this. It's like let's understand our client base here a little bit. So you have to understand what's moving the human side of this market. So would I invest because some 18-year-old kid bought this on whatever little phone app or whatever? That's not a group that I really want to throw down some hardcore money on.
Right.
But then you got the woo-woo world saying it's going to do well. All things will do well. So that's it. But that being said, if we do continue, I mean, I made this yellow box a long time ago. Well, look at the number of calls that I've made. Called that, hit it. Called that, hit it. I mean, I've been, and I go way back, and I'm hitting level upon level. I mean, these things come in way before they happen. So again, if you go way back and you look at all the other calls that I've made, here we are sitting right here, and I've already gotten that truly should be red right at the dual AI line. There's nothing about this right now that makes me feel tremendously bullish about this, and that's what I told my gal. And it took a while to finally capitulate across the top of this. We tasted it, and we did. We've already gone down once, so we've already established a floor down here. But we got back up, walked across the top of the box, dipped into it a little bit, and so we're testing, but we are still in this box. So as we go lower and lower in this box, the probability of hitting this green AI line or this dual AI line, very good. So if I were to be a buyer, I wouldn't even be touching this thing until it got down to this line. And it probably in a crash scenario will go much lower. And in fact, I already have calls for that. So I'm not feeling like I want to be jumping in on that right now.
Yeah.
Because as you well know, shitcoins take a harder beating than everything else does. So if everything goes down 50%, you can certainly bet that something like this will go 60, 65, maybe even 75%. So I would definitely not be trading and holding. So kind of to get back to my XRP point. So if you want to do a short-term trade on something right now, lick that ice cream cone, man. Do not let that thing melt all the way down your arm, because I see it coming. I know Joe does too.
Yep.
And that's true. That's true of everything. For you guys that are hodlers, hodl on, man. I'm in it. I'm
if you're
in.
hodling, there's nothing to do but hodl.
Just watch the show. It's boring. It's really boring. I know I know people in your group are like, "Win, Joe, win!" And
I have a friend that was
had
$2 million in his account. Well, his portfolio was worth $2 million.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing about 3 months ago or whatever it was, and now it's worth about, well, depending on the time, it's 600 something to 900,000. And I guess that's what happens when you hodl. And,
yeah, well, you got to accept those risks. And again, that gets back to my earlier point, one of my many earlier points. If you're going to take a position, you got to be happy with it. You got to. I know that people don't like. I'm going to say T. I'm not going to say his name. Last dude in the White House. He has a famous saying, whether you like him or love him or hate him or anything in between, he has a saying, which I adhere to. Always ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? If you can live with it, do it.
Right.
It's very sound advice. No matter what your position is on the man, that is very sound advice. And so with regard to XRP, if you take a position, a partial position on XRP, and I did, by the way, I took it at 72. I want to get a little bit of a hit on it, and I'll ride it. And I've got considerably more than what I've got in this play. But hell, if we go up a little bit, I'm gonna scrape a little bit off the table, and then it's a little fun money to go buy something stupid like maybe possibly Shiba. Then I'll play it because I don't care, because it's somebody else's money. Not mine.
Right.
So let's take a look at Doge here real quick. Anything else you want to want me to cover here real quick, I'll go ahead and do that. I know I was just kind of rambling here, and you guys are just learning who I am and kind of a little bit of my philosophy, and we'll dive deeper, if Joe wants to have me back on or his Patreon. So Doge, this one is interesting because as we look at this, we see a pretty believable cup and handle, not classically speaking, but it's round in the it's round and bottom. It's coming up a little bit, but again, look at this. This is the call I gave, or not the call. This is the indication of direction that I gave. But look where we stalled, right at 50%. Funny how that keeps happening. I told you it was going to happen. Funny how it keeps happening. So now what's going to happen from here? We might gather steam and boost up the rest of the way if the rest of the market goes up, and it's highly possible that it will. We could find ourselves easily on that double AI line right there, and that's at about 22 cents. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you on this. So you Doge fanatics out there, I want to give Joe's followers and my followers a little bit of value here because I want you guys to come back with a win and tell me how amazing I am because I thrive off of nothing like a good I told you so. So what I'm going to tell you is this. This is my philosophy on Doge. Doge Crypto Rich is my multimillionaire buyer. We're hoping for the bottom, but he's playing right now. This indicator right here is his buy. So you've got a 10 millionaire right now that's in on this play. He's putting down good money on this play. But here's the discussion, and he knows the rules of the game. He's in on this, asking himself a question: what's the worst that can happen? All right, well, what's the worst that can happen? So we bought a dog coin for 20 cents. What do we see happening 1 year from now, 6 months from now? Well, do we see the iceberg being mostly above us or mostly below us? Well, the answer is common sense tells you it's mostly above us. So the statistical probabilities that we're applying to this purchase is, are my odds in my favor? Are they with me or are they against me? They are with me. So I think it's pretty much common sense, or not common sense, but it's commonly held Doge will see $1. Correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody now is calling for $1.
We'll just keep it to $1 for this discussion because I see it a hell of a lot higher than that. But that's a discussion for another day. So if we are given to believe that Doge is going to go to $1, we divide 20 cents by that. That's a 500% return, probably by the end of the year. So if you could make 5x in 6 months, are you a happy camper? I would put it to you probably would be. So. Ergo, that's why Rich took that position, and I'm in there too. I'm in at that exact position. So just so you know. Now, if it turns and goes south, I'll go find something else to do with my time. I'm going to leave that right where it's at because by God, I'm not going to let go of this till we hit $1 or better. That's the way you play this.
Gotcha. Let's do one more chart, and we'll do a quick one if you can. Theta.
Theta? Oh, yeah, I knew you were going to do Theta.
I had quite a few people asking for that, so I said, yeah, let me do Theta.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm not watching your chat, guys, so I'm sorry. Because I'm not shining you off. I'm trying to land space shuttles and everything else here on my desktop, so I can't watch chat on top of that. All right, so Theta. Going back, I really threw the cotton candy at this one here. So again, I like it. I'll just cut right straight to the chase. We're looking at just a hair under $8. I'll go ahead and give you $8 as a call on that right now. Now again, we are not a cup and handle, but we got a nice rounded bottom. Where I get this from, and this is just a short-term call. This is not obviously the call. We have a lot of velocity. So where I pulled this from is I pulled this from right here, from the what we call the armpit to the double AI line, very believable. And we brought that over here. We set it on our current, and we find that, and that puts you right at well, $7.99. Let's just go ahead and call it $8 for close enough for hand grenades. So that's where we're at with that right now. Now the bigger, broader, and I want to really go out there on the limb here and show you this. So from bottom call to double AI line, which is this movement right here, I'll go ahead and stack this. This is what we call a double call. And by the way, if you guys are wondering why this shrinks, because I got it on logarithmic scale, so it moves. Now I don't have AI lines up here just yet, but she'll get up there. So your next call above that is about is about $9.50. Now when is that going to happen? I can probably take that and say now it's entirely possible. Well, we got this little. Excuse me, my voice is giving out on me. I have a early onset throat cancer, so pardon me for that. So anyway, but that just came out of nowhere. So $9.50 is about where we're at. Oh man, Pardon me, guys. This is something that's never happened to me live on here. Hang on just a second. Let me get a drink here. Hang on just a second.
No problem.
All right. Hate when that happens. So I've got scars in my throat from pre-cancer situations, so it hits me every once in a while. I don't mean to be obnoxious with my throat clearing.
Well, they're used to it with my ass, because I don't have that, and I'm always clearing my damn throat.
Yeah, I know we were talking about that. It's just, you don't want to clear your throat in the mic, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, $7.50 is, or I'm sorry, $9.50 is where we're going to be. I would feel pretty comfortable telling you in the next 15 days we'll easily strike that. So, is Theta a trade coin? I don't view it to be a trade coin. Are you in it or are you out of it? My personal thought on this is if you're a Theta fan, you should have been in already. You know, in financial situations, it's a little bit. You're not late to the party by any stretch of the imagination, because I think we all know where this is going. Should you trade it? I would be trading T-Fuel before I would ever touch Theta as a swap trade or as a money-making trade. Let's go ahead and take a look at T-Fuel, and then I'll cut you loose here.
Perfect. Go for it.
So I was pimping T-Fuel when everybody was on the Doge train. I'm like, no. You want to be in T-Fuel, because T-Fuel was about 2-3 cents when Doge was going through its wild gyrations. And I told everybody, T-Fuel makes more sense. It has a higher up. It basically has usability, and it makes sense. There's dog coin versus practical use, and big money versus meme coins. So I was telling everybody, man, again, monkeys with the dartboard, get in the damn T-Fuel, because if you make a mistake, you just wait it out. You can't lose. So I told everybody at 2 cents, and some of my guys in my group listened, and it went from 2-3 cents to 50 cents. Yep. Like really quick. I mean, it rocked past Doge, and like it was standing still. And it was like, wow, you saw that one coming. Like, I really didn't take a psychic to figure that one out. I mean, Theta was doing really well. Would it go up to about $14, $15, something like that? T-Fuel was tracking right along with it. We knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. So now here again, here's your call. Now you're dealing with a 31-cent coin, and candidly speaking, I see T-Fuel, and I'm going to be very conservative in my call. T-Fuel being $1.25 by the end of the year. I think I'm being hugely conservative with that, but I'm trying to keep it real. So if you buy in T-Fuel right now and it goes down, wait. I think that's a safe bet. Wait, it'll come back. It will come back. So the upside right now is what we're talking about. We're talking about a potential currently in the next 2-3 days, potentially 8 to, let's just take it up here, probably as much as 12.5 cents. That's an extreme. We got to get into this box, but reasonably probably touching the bottom of that box, anywhere from 8 to 12% boost.
Okay.
That would be the one that would go. All right.
Cool.
So thank you guys for entertaining me and all my nonsense and my stories. If you guys want to join me, my name is Red Barron. I can be had at theunfairadvantage.chat. That is my Discord. And if you like these really unique, funny charts with all the spaghetti on them, and you want to get those and subscribe to them, you can head on over to fibbycharts.com. That's where we call home. Go to subscribe and pick yourself out a package. We'd love to have you be a part of what you're doing, part of what we're doing.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate you coming on. And Patreon members, we're going to do some private stuff for you guys too, every now and then as well. It's not just going to be always public. We're going to share some cool stuff with you guys too, on mine and his. So.
And I'll tell you guys, for Joe's subscribers, if you guys have some specific, I track about 100 top coins. That does not necessarily. I don't want to do the really weird ones. I don't want to do like pirate coin. Right. But if you got something in probably the more stuff like that, go ahead and give. If there's a consensus, go ahead and get me 10 coins that you really want to talk about, and we'll cover that with your Patreon group. How's that?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate it, and until next time, I guess we'll see what hell. We didn't even get into the politics, so we were like, he was like, "You guys, should we talk politics and crypto?" I go, "No, let's just save crypto for this one." I was like,
"Well, I got a lot."
God, if we get into politics, we're gonna be up all night. There's a lot of shit we're waiting.
For 9-hour live streams, I don't do that anymore because of my voice. I just it's hard once you get started. You just don't know where to cut it off.
I know. So yeah, we'll have some interesting chats in the future. So I appreciate you coming on. We'll be in touch.
No problem. Thank you very much, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so that was Mr. Red Barron, as he calls himself. And I just had a sneaky little feeling today, like, oh, you should call him. You know, like you should get a hold of him. Today might be the day. You know, to get him on there and let me get my little background going. And you know, have a little crypto chat. It's just, you know, because I'm not the only one who's thinking there's just big drop coming. He's got numbers really close to some of mine, especially XRP. He's still seeing 22 to 25 on that one, and I'm like, you know, mine's above 27, but I was getting 27 in my dreams. And I'm like, I think we just need to go a little higher. Again, you don't want to be greedy and miss it. Could you imagine something drops and you miss it by a penny or two like that? You know, you're in at 27, 28 cents and the damn thing got to 30 or something, you know. And then you just miss the whole move. You've been waiting 2 months or whatever, however long you've been waiting. You know, and what it reminded me the other day, says, you know, Spirit's telling me, you know, to tell you, you know, don't get greedy. You know, I'm like, all right, you know. But, you know, like, I've gotten all these dreams, I've got confirmations, at least I think, you know, I'm like, I'm pretty sure, you know, so I'm like, I mean, I just got to wait for some of this, but at the same time, yeah, I understand, don't get greedy. Don't try to catch the absolute bottom. You know, some of these coins you know are going to be way higher. You know, does it really matter if some of them drop a little bit lower than where they might be? Like, honestly, no. Like, at that point, you know, if it's that close, just get back in. But, you know, again, for me, I've got my HODL bag. I've got several different trade bags for, you know, the different coins. And I've got my orders in. I got my low orders in. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens next week. And I especially want to see what happens around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, right around that time frame. Also, in the remote viewers, Naeem, I think's his name, Dick Algire's guys over at Crypto Viewing, was getting basically later in the month, around the 20th, 21st, 22nd, somewhere around there. 19th to the 23rd, I think, was the total deadline. That he goes, I just feel like down we go. He goes, but then after that, I think we go up. And he goes, last month I had a similar drawing of the bottom of the month, and he goes, I actually nailed it. I got it right on the time, like the date. Now, he didn't give prices, but he's not getting prices, so it is what it is. And so there's all, you know, got all this different information and stuff. And sometimes, you know, because when you have all these people who are so bullish on everything crypto, oh, bull market, I'm, you know, permabulls, you know, you question yourself and go, well, gosh, you know, it has been a little while ago. Are we, you know, we really going to go up now? And, did we miss it? You know, was the last drop, was that it? You know, XRP only got to 50 cents, you know. But every time I want to come out and do a Patreon, go, you know, we have been waiting a while, guys. You know, I wonder if we should start stacking. My whole core goes, nah, don't do it. Nope. Now, if anybody's out of the market completely, you should not be out of the market completely. That's just ridiculous. That's just super risky. I mean, incredibly risky. Way beyond anything I'd ever do, and I can get risky from time to time. But if you got a HODL bag, you got a trade bag, you know, sometimes you got to wait. Like they say, all good things come to those who wait. And with this market, it would be nothing for some major geopolitical something event to happen, and all of a sudden everything's puking again. It's just a cover story. It's just a news headline. Oh, that's why the Dow Jones is down today. No, it's not. The Dow Jones is down because they wanted it down that day. The club. The news story makes you think, oh, okay. Oh, a pipeline blew up in, you know, Kyrgyzstan. Oil is up today. How much did the oil produce to contribute to the national or worldwide supply? 0.004%. But the whole entire oil market just went up. It's up 5% today. Yeah. Again, it's all rigged. It's all freaking rigged. But if you have an opportunity, while someone else is playing the game, to kind of ride some coattails, I'm all for it. Because if it can get us out of debt, pay off bills, help family members, help friends, whatever it may be, great. Again, I paid my house off. I paid my mother-in-law's house off. I paid the cars off. My wife got her a brand new van. And traded that old damn RV that I had, that freaking thing. I should have never got that damn thing. But, you know, whatever, that old bus, 20-year-old freaking diesel pusher, traded that damn thing in. You know, but I still had to come up with some cash, you know, for a new one. I got a brand new one. It's not a diesel pusher. And, but I, you know, thanks to crypto. Mrs. Mostly thanks to crypto. You know, I know I have a Patreon, but that's like my paycheck. You know, that's my money that I live with and pay bills and things with. And of course, I do use that for some things too. But you know, because I don't always want to dip in fully crypto for every single thing I do. But these big things that I'm doing, it's been crypto that's really done it for me. You know, it really has. So we'll just see what happens, guys. Again, just if you're not paying attention to stuff, like my Twitter feed is out of control with stuff. The narrative of the deep state, it's falling apart. It's falling apart at record pace. You know, and the new thing now that I'm seeing is, oh, that person sued their country, their government, and that person sued their government because they wanted them to show them they had a sample, if you will, of COVID. Well, the current coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2 or CoV-2, CoV-2. And there's 2 countries that this has happened to so far. And the country said, well, we don't have it. Nobody isolated it. So now everyone's asking, well, then how the hell did you know? Like, then how are we in a coronavirus, situation right now if nobody, isolated this? So that's kind of a question people are asking right now. Not to say that we're not in a coronavirus outbreak. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying people are asking how we could be in one if nobody isolated like you're supposed to. So we know this is what we're working with. This is what the vaccine has to deal with. This is what the problem is. And there's a little issue happening right now. So, anyways, like, it's just my Twitter feed is just out of control. The amount of stuff that I'm sending myself. Keep that, save that, save that, save that. Oh my God. Do a video on this. And I'm like, oh my God, I got 15 things I sent. I'm not going to do 15 videos. So like I did that one earlier, this is kind of a catch-all. And even that, I probably only talked about 60% of the stuff that I'd sent myself. And I'm like, man, so things are heating up. We may very well, again, have some event. Oh, nobody saw that coming. Oh, TA didn't work well. Okay. Whatever. Black Swan. We don't care how it happens. We just want it to happen so we can buy some really, really cheap coins. And if you follow the remote viewers for this month, boy, are they seeing some stuff coming our way. Not necessarily crypto. I'm talking events, problems, electrical issues, grids, stuff. And my favorite one might be Nancy Pelosi. Getting what she's finally deserved by God himself. We will see. And on that note,